My friends, let me begin by telling you something important about the times we live in. These are remarkable days. Extraordinary tools, incredible technology. We have devices that can write for us, design for us, speak for us, even create ideas for us. In a matter of seconds, you can make a video, write a script, build an ad, or design a business. It's all right there, available at the speed of thought. But listen carefully now. With all this progress, with all this acceleration, one thing remains unchanged. You still have to bring you to the table. The tools may be faster, but the principles are the same. The world may be more digital, but success is still personal. And no matter how clever the technology becomes, it cannot replace the character, the discipline, the mindset, and the philosophy of the person using it. That part, my friends, belongs entirely to you. I've always said, don't wish for life to be easier, wish to be better. Well, in 2025, people do the opposite. They want easier, they want shortcuts. They want AI to do all the work while they sit back and wait for success to arrive. But remember, success doesn't respond to ease. Success responds to effort. Not frantic effort, not desperate effort, but deliberate, steady, consistent effort. The kind of effort that is guided by a solid personal philosophy. Now, of course, these tools can multiply your productivity. They can expand your reach. They can give you leverage that previous generations never dreamed of. But they cannot make you disciplined. They cannot make you consistent. They cannot make you valuable. The tools have changed. The marketplace has changed. But the foundations of personal success, those are the same today as they were 50 years ago. So, in our time together today, I want to show you how to take Jim Rohn's timeless principles, ideas that have built fortunes, shaped leaders, and changed lives, and apply them to this new world of AI, content creation, side hustles, automation, and digital opportunity. Because here's the great secret. When you combine modern tools with ancient principles, you become unstoppable. If you learn to work on yourself while you work with these tools, if you build discipline while you build content, if you strengthen your mind while you strengthen your skills, then the future won't intimidate you. It will reward you. The world is moving quickly, yes, but that's no problem, because you're going to learn how to move intentionally. The world is becoming louder, but that's no problem either, because you're going to become clearer. And while everyone else rushes and panics and chases shortcuts, you will calmly follow the oldest rule in the book. Success is something you attract by the person you become. So let's begin our journey. Let's take these remarkable modern tools and pair them with the timeless fundamentals of personal growth. And let's see what kind of future you can build when the old wisdom meets the new world. Now, my friends, let's talk about value, one of the most important words in the entire vocabulary of success. Value. Not luck, not chance, value. Because the marketplace, this big, busy marketplace we're all a part of, doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your value. And I learned a long time ago, if you want more, you must become more. If you want to earn more, you must learn more. If you want the world to treat you better, you must become better. This idea has never been more important than it is today in the age of AI. Because listen carefully, the world is improving. The tools are improving. The capabilities are improving. And the question is, are you improving right alongside them? That's the great challenge of 2025. Not keeping up with technology that happens automatically. The apps update themselves. The software improves overnight. But personal growth? Oh no. That doesn't update automatically. That's manual labor. That's your job. And here's the interesting thing. When the world gets better, it exposes the people who don't. When tools advance, they widen the gap between those who grow and those who coast. Years ago, if you lacked discipline, you could hide it. If you weren't improving, it wasn't obvious. But today, the digital marketplace exposes everything. It shows who's learning and who's stopped, who's growing and who's drifting, who's improving their craft and who's relying on yesterday's skills. And that's why Jim Rohn's old principle still holds true. The greatest reward in becoming wealthy is not what you get, it's who you become. Now just imagine this for a moment. You take modern AI tools that can multiply your output tenfold, and you pair them with a person who is disciplined, curious, consistent, and committed to growth. That combination is unstoppable. But now imagine the opposite. A person who refuses to learn, who won't develop new skills, who avoids discipline and handing them powerful tools. Well, the tools won't solve the real problem. The tools will only magnify it. So the question becomes, how do you raise your value in a world where tools are abundant? You do it the same way people have done it for centuries. You study, you practice, you refine, you learn how to think better, decide better, communicate better. You become more valuable to the marketplace by becoming more valuable to yourself. Think of it like this. AI can write your script, but it can't write your philosophy. It can generate a design, but it can't generate discipline. It can give you options, but it can't make you choose wisely. Value still comes from the inside out. And that's why the real opportunity today isn't in the tools, it's in the transformation of the person using them. If you develop your value, these new technologies will serve you beautifully. But if you neglect your value, these same technologies may pass you by, because the future doesn't belong to the smartest tools. It belongs to the strongest thinkers. So ask yourself, starting today, how do I increase my value? How do I rise to meet the opportunity? How do I grow so that the world's improvements become my advantage, not my competition? The answer is simple. You improve yourself, you raise your philosophy, you strengthen your habits, you develop your mind, and when you do that, the marketplace will notice. It always does. Because the marketplace is designed to reward value, and in 2025, value shines brighter than ever before. Now, let's move to one of the great challenges of our modern age, chaos. Not the chaos outside, but the chaos inside. The chaos of too many choices, too many tools, too many strategies, too many voices telling you what to do, and the result, people are busy, but not productive. Active, but not advancing. Surrounded by opportunity, yet overwhelmed by it. But let me share with you a lesson I learned early in my journey. Success follows order, not chaos. And if you want to rise in a fast-moving world, you must slow yourself down long enough to establish rhythm. Now, today we have AI tools that can do 100 things in the blink of an eye. That's wonderful. But it also tempts us into a dangerous habit, jumping from one thing to the next with no consistency. One day you're learning video tools. Next day you're trying to build a website. The day after that you're experimenting with a new app you'll never open again. Pretty soon you've collected more tools than results. And that, my friends, is not the path to mastery. Success does not come from dabbling. Success comes from discipline. It comes from doing small things well over and over, long enough for them to bear fruit. So let me give you a strategy I call the daily AI rhythm. A simple, structured pattern that removes the overwhelm and brings back clarity. Because if you're going to use modern tools, you must use them with ancient discipline. Here's the rhythm. 1. Learn something. A new skill, a new idea, a new feature, just a few minutes of learning each day. Why? Because learning makes you aware, and awareness is the beginning of progress. 2. Build something. It doesn't have to be big. A design, a clip, a script, a short video, something tangible that turns learning into capability. Because learning without building becomes entertainment. 3. Publish something. Share your work. Post it. Show it. Give it to the marketplace. Because value unused is value lost. And ideas unshared have no impact. Now some people ask, Jim, is that really enough? Just 3 steps? And I say, yes. That's enough to begin. Because greatness often starts with a simple pattern done consistently. You see, the world rewards expertise, but expertise is built through repetition. Not through excitement, not through novelty, but through steady, deliberate, unglamorous consistency. It's like watering a garden. You don't water one plant today, another tomorrow, dig up the soil the next day, and wonder why nothing is growing. No. You pick your seed and stay with it. You water the same soil. You nurture the same roots. You build a rhythm so consistent the garden begins to trust you. And that's how your skills grow. That's how your content grows. That's how your business grows. Through rhythm, not chaos. Through consistency, not constant switching. So let me ask you a simple question. Do you have a daily rhythm, a pattern you can follow, something simple enough to do every day and powerful enough to change your future? If not, it's time to begin one. Because in a world of noise and distraction, the person with rhythm becomes the person with results. Remember this, chaos is loud, consistency is quiet. Chaos is impressive, consistency is effective. Chaos is busy, consistency is productive. Choose consistency, build your rhythm, and let the world's noise fade as your results begin to compound. My friends, let's talk now about skill. Not talent, not luck, skill. Because in every age, ancient, modern, or digital, skill has always been the currency of progress. And here's the good news. Skills can be learned. And here's the challenge. Skills must be learned. Now today people say, Jim, look at these incredible tools. AI can write, it can design, it can edit, it can research. What do I need to develop? And my answer is always the same. You must develop the most important thing of all, the person who uses the tools. Tools don't make you valuable. Your skill makes the tools valuable. Give extraordinary tools to an untrained person, and the result is confusion. Give simple tools to a highly skilled person, and the result is excellence. So what kind of skills do you need in 2025? Let's keep it simple. I call them the 3 great skills of the modern creator. 1, thinking skills, the ability to generate ideas and make good decisions. AI can give you 100 answers, but only you can decide which one is right. AI can create options, but only you can choose the direction. Thinking clearly, that is a skill. Seeing opportunity, skill. Choosing wisely, skill. Knowing what the marketplace wants, skill. And these skills are developed the oldest way possible, by reading, studying, reflecting, observing, by learning from your experiences and the experiences of others. Remember, AI can speed up the work, but only you can supply the wisdom. 2, tool skills, knowing how to use the instruments of modern productivity. Now, certainly, you must learn the tools. Not all of them, just the ones that match your goals. A video tool, a design tool, a writing tool, a research tool. Learn them, practice them, become comfortable with them. But here's the key. Learn one at a time. Master it. Use it daily until it becomes second nature. Then and only then, move to the next. The world doesn't reward people who know a little about 100 tools. The world rewards people who know a lot about a few tools they've practiced until they can create results quickly, confidently, consistently. 3, people skills, the ability to communicate, influence, and inspire. And yes, even in the age of AI, people still matter. In fact, they matter even more. Because now everyone can create content, but not everyone can communicate. Everyone can write a script, but not everyone can speak to the heart. Everyone can build a brand, but not everyone can build trust. The marketplace rewards clarity, empathy, sincerity, teamwork, negotiation, presentation. These are people skills. And without them, even the best content struggles to connect. So remember, AI can create the message, but only you can make it meaningful. Now, let me give you something simple and powerful. When you pair your growing skills with powerful tools, success begins to multiply. But when you use powerful tools without developing your skills, success slips through your fingers. So ask yourself, what new skill am I learning this month? What tool am I mastering this season? What personal strength am I developing this year? Because at the end of the day, skills make the difference. Tools come and go, platforms rise and fall. Technology changes with every update, but a person of skill is valuable in any era. And the wonderful truth, skill is not a gift, it is a choice. A daily choice, and if you make that choice day after day, you will become the kind of person success is eager to visit. Now, my friends, Let's step back for a moment and look at the world we're living in, not emotionally, not fearfully, but philosophically. Because if you don't understand the marketplace, you won't understand how to succeed in it. And the marketplace today is very different from the one I grew up in. But the rules of reward, those haven't changed at all. The modern world 2025 is full of noise. Millions of creators, millions of businesses, millions of ideas, all trying to be seen. And in such a crowded marketplace, people think success belongs to the lucky, the ones who go viral, the ones who find the right moment, the ones who stumble into opportunity by accident. But let me give you a truth that has outlived every generation before us. The marketplace does not reward luck. The marketplace rewards consistency. YouTube doesn't reward the video you might post. The algorithm doesn't reward the idea you thought about making. Clients don't reward the skill you plan to learn. No. The marketplace rewards what you do again and again, long enough for it to matter. You see, the modern world has something I call consistency algorithms. Not just in platforms, but in life itself. YouTube rewards consistency. Not perfection, not brilliance, just steady output over time. Freelancing rewards consistency. Show up reliably, and clients return. Relationships reward consistency. People trust the person who keeps showing up. Health rewards consistency. Not extreme effort, steady discipline. And this is the great irony of our times. The world has never been more competitive, and yet the advantage has never been simpler. Just be consistent. Because most people don't fail from lack of talent. They fail from lack of repetition. Most people aren't defeated by the marketplace. They're defeated by Monday and Tuesday and all the other days they promised themselves they'd show up, but didn't. Listen carefully now. If you learn to do something small, consistently, you will pass the people doing something big inconsistently. That's how 2025 works. Content creators who post weekly outperform those who post brilliantly twice a year. Skill builders who practice 10 minutes daily outperform those who study for hours once a month. Businesses that improve by 1% every week outperform businesses that chase every new trend and never master anything. The world is not rewarding the biggest, the fastest, the loudest. The world is rewarding the most steady. People say, Jim, isn't that too simple? And I say, yes, that's why it works. Because everyone is chasing complexity. Everyone wants the magic tool, the shortcut, the loophole, the secret. But consistency, that's not a secret. It's a principle. And principles don't change. Let me give you a final thought for this section. In 2025, you don't need to outrun the competition. You just need to outlast their inconsistency. Show up one more day. Try one more time. Learn one more skill. Publish one more piece of work. Because if you can stay consistent in a world addicted to quitting, the marketplace will not just reward you, it will search for you. Now, my friends, we've talked about value, we've talked about skill, we've talked about the power of consistency in the modern marketplace, but the question is, how do you actually build it? How do you turn all this philosophy into something practical, something you can live every day? Let me give you a system, simple, clear, powerful, a system even the busiest person can follow. I call it the Rohn daily system. Not because it's complicated, but because it's consistent. And consistency, as we've learned, is the true engine of progress. This system only takes 60 minutes. That's right, 1 hour. But if you do it every day, or at least most days, it will change the trajectory of your entire career. It will build your value. It will strengthen your skills, and it will give you the kind of discipline that the marketplace respects and rewards. Let me show it to you. 1, first 20 minutes, learn something. Every day, sit down with the intention to learn a new AI feature, a better editing technique, a new mindset, a chapter of a book, a short tutorial. Why? Because learning is the foundation of awareness. And awareness is the beginning of improvement. I've said before, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Today, with all these digital tools, Self-education is easier than ever, but it must be intentional. Not scattered, not random, not a dozen tabs open with no direction. Just 20 minutes of focused learning. 2. Next, 20 minutes build something. Learning is wonderful, but learning without doing becomes entertainment. So the next 20 minutes are for building, creating something tangible. A short reel, a thumbnail, a script, a design, a piece of writing, a small project inside your AI tool of choice. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about the final result. Worry about developing the capability. You're building your future 20 minutes at a time, because even small creations stacked over a year become a portfolio, and a portfolio becomes opportunity. 3. Final 20 minutes publish something. This is the part most people skip because it's uncomfortable. It requires courage. But the marketplace cannot reward the work it cannot see. So in these last 20 minutes, you publish, share what you made, upload it, send it, post it, show it to someone. Your creation must enter the marketplace, because only then can it receive feedback, build momentum, and begin attracting opportunity. Now, some people say, Jim, what if it's not good enough? And I say, of course it's not good enough. That's why you must publish it, because publishing forces you to grow. It forces you to face your fears, and it forces you to build the courage that success requires. Remember, you don't get better by hiding your work. You get better by showing your work. Why? This 60-minute system works. 3 simple actions: learn, build, publish. But let me tell you why this system is so powerful. It builds your mind, your skill, and your courage every single day. It turns scattered potential into organized progress. It removes overwhelm. It creates clarity and direction. And most importantly, it makes consistency easy. Not glamorous, not dramatic, but easy. You don't need 6 hours. You don't need complicated planning. You don't need perfect motivation. You just need 1 hour. And you need to do it again tomorrow. Because a single day of 60 minutes does almost nothing. But 100 days? A year? Oh my! That's where transformation begins. So take this system, use it, live it. Let it become your rhythm, and watch how quickly the world responds when you start showing up with daily, deliberate action. My friends, now we arrive at the heart of the matter. We've talked about tools. We've talked about skills. We've talked about consistency and the marketplace. But let me tell you something that may surprise you. None of that will matter if you don't build character. Because in every era, industrial, digital, AI-driven, the greatest asset you can bring to your work is not your equipment, not your software, not even your talent. The greatest asset is you. Your habits, your standards, your discipline, your self-leadership. You see, the real battle of success is not out there, it's in here. Not against the competition, but against your compromises. Not against the world, but against your own excuses. Not against lack of opportunity, but against lack of discipline. I learned a long time ago. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. And in 2025, this is more true than ever. Why? Because today we live in an age of distraction, an age of instant entertainment, endless scrolling, constant notifications, and effortless escape. In this kind of world, the person who can focus wins. The person who can stay steady rises. The person who can lead themselves becomes rare and valuable. Let me put it plainly. AI can accelerate your work, but it cannot strengthen your will. It can automate your tasks, but it cannot organize your life. It can generate ideas, but it cannot generate integrity. It can help you produce more, but only you can help yourself become more. That's why character matters. Because character is what you do when the excitement fades. Character is what you do when no one is watching. Character is what you do when it's easier not to do anything at all. Let me give you 3 pillars of self-leadership. Simple, but powerful. 1, the pillar of standards. Your life will rise to the level of your standards. If you accept excuses from yourself, that becomes your identity. If you accept delays, that becomes your reputation. If you accept half-finished work, that becomes your habit. Raise your standards, and you raise your future. Lower your standards, and the world lowers its expectations of you. 2. The pillar of promises. There is nothing more damaging to your self-worth than breaking promises to yourself. And there is nothing more empowering than keeping them. Every time you follow through on a task, a practice, a commitment, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. You say to yourself, I can trust me, and trust forms the backbone of discipline. Self-confidence is not built from praise. Self-confidence is built from keeping your word. 3. The pillar of personal accountability. You must learn to hold yourself accountable to your goals, not your mood. To your vision, not your circumstances. To your standards, not your convenience. Because the world doesn't reward the person who feels like working. The world rewards the person who works, even when the feeling is gone. You must become your own coach, your own supervisor, your own motivator, your own leader. And here's the wonderful part. Once you develop the ability to lead yourself, success becomes predictable. Why? Because success is simply the result of daily actions done by a person who refuses to drift. Let me leave you with this thought. The future belongs to the disciplined, not the lucky. Not the talented, not the clever. The disciplined, because tools will improve. AI will evolve. Opportunities will expand. But the world will always need people of strength, character, clarity, and consistency. Become that person, and every tool will serve you. Every opportunity will find you. Every goal will move toward you. Self-leadership is the master key. And once you hold that key, my friends, the doors of your future will open, one after another. Now, my friends, let's take everything we've learned so far, value, skill, consistency, discipline, and turn it into something you can live, something practical, something measurable, something that moves you from intention to execution. Because I've always believed, don't just start the year, start your plan. A year without a plan is just 12 months of hope. But a plan gives structure, a plan gives focus, and a plan gives your energy a destination. So I want to give you one of the most powerful ideas I ever learned, the 90-day growth plan. 3 months. Not too long to lose momentum, not too short to see meaningful change. 90 days, the perfect window to transform a habit, build a skill, or launch a new season of your life. Let's walk through it together, step by step. Step 1, choose your arena. Before you begin, you must decide, where do you want to improve? Not everywhere, just somewhere. The mistake people make is trying to do everything at once. They spread their energy so thin that nothing grows. Choose one clear arena for the next 90 days. AI video, content creation, writing, freelancing, business, fitness. Pick one area that, if improved, would lift your entire life. Because focus creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Step 2, set your 90-day targets. Now define the outcomes. Clear, specific, tangible. Not get better at content, but publish 40 pieces. Not make money with AI, but earn my first $1,000 with a skill. Your targets should inspire you, not overwhelm you. Just clear enough to guide your actions and simple enough to measure. Because the mind loves clarity and the marketplace rewards direction. Step 3, define your 3 daily actions. This is where the magic happens. 90 days of vague effort produces vague results. But 90 days of 3 simple actions, that produces growth you can see and feel. Choose 3 actions you can perform almost every day. Something manageable, something doable. For example, learn for 20 minutes. Build for 20 minutes. Publish or practice for 20 minutes. 3 actions. 1 hour, daily. Your life changes when your days change. And your days change when your actions change. Step 4, create your environment. Now here's a Jim Rohn classic. Motivation is not stronger than environment, so fix the environment. Make success convenient. Make consistency natural. Clear your workspace. Create templates. Organize your tools. Silence distractions. Schedule your sessions. Build an environment where success doesn't require willpower, just presence. Because the right environment turns discipline into a habit, and the wrong environment turns every goal into a struggle. 5. Step 5, weekly review. At the end of each week, sit down and ask 3 simple questions. What worked? What didn't? What will I adjust? This keeps you awake, keeps you aware, keeps you improving, because without reflection, you repeat mistakes. With reflection, you refine your path. Don't just go through the week, get from the week. 6. Step 6, quarterly reflection. At the end of the 90 days, review your journey, not just your results. What skills did you gain? What habits did you strengthen? What fears did you defeat? What opportunities appeared because you showed up? You'll be amazed at how far you've come simply because you committed to a small, consistent plan. Remember, transformation is not loud, it's steady. It's not sudden. It's accumulated. It's not accidental. It's intentional. And a 90-day plan makes your intention visible and your progress inevitable. The power of 90 days. Let me summarize it like this. 90 days of focus can accomplish what years of drifting never will. 90 days of discipline can build habits that last a lifetime. 90 days of small daily actions can create a future you once thought impossible. Your future is not built in a day, but it is built in daily decisions. And 90 days of those decisions can change the direction of your entire life. My friends, as we come to the end of our time together, let me leave you with a thought that has guided my entire life, a truth that has shaped fortunes, built leaders, strengthened families, and turned ordinary men and women into extraordinary examples of what is possible. It's the simple idea that success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And in this remarkable age of AI, automation, and digital opportunity, that truth becomes even more powerful. Because the tools may change, the platforms may evolve, the speed of life may increase, but the principles that govern success remain the same. The world rewards value. The marketplace honors discipline. Opportunity follows consistency, and success gravitates toward character. Let me put it plainly. Don't sit back and wait for the world to recognize you. Become the kind of person the world cannot ignore. Become valuable. Become dependable. Become disciplined. Become consistent. Become a student of life. Become a leader of yourself. Become someone who shows up on purpose, with purpose, every single day. Because when you work harder on yourself than you do on your tools become powerful in your hands. When you strengthen your philosophy, your strategy becomes clear. When you improve your character, your opportunities multiply. And when you lead yourself well, you'll find that everything else in your life begins to align. Now, here's the beautiful part. You don't need to change your life in a day. You don't need to master every skill at once. You don't need perfection, brilliance, or luck. You only need direction and daily action, a little discipline, a little consistency, a little courage, repeated over time. Because small steps, walked faithfully, create magnificent journeys. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the first step, then the next, and the next. And pretty soon, the habits form, the skills grow, the confidence rises, and success begins to follow you, not because of luck, but because of leadership. Your own leadership. Let me close with this reminder. Don't just wish for a better life, work for it. Don't just seek opportunity, prepare for it. Don't just think like a leader, live like one. And don't chase success, attract it by the person you choose to become. The future is ready, my friends. The tools are ready. The opportunities are ready. The question is, are you? Lead yourself well, and success will always follow.